Hey, welcome to Instant Reactions, the Blue Jay Banner post-game show, the original Creighton Blue Jay post-game show. Thanks for finding us here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And hit the like button to share with all other Blue Jay fans. Jays go down in a heap, 82-60. We should mention we're sponsored by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. I have some comments from the president of Equitable Bank about the game, West Pacific Dental Group, and Infusion Brewery. You can join us. Please do. I'm sure you have a lot to say. Just shoot us an email. Zach will send you the link and you can join in. I'm probably not the best person to talk right now, so Jeremy, go ahead. By the way, we're joined by Jeremy Miller. Yeah, that's at bluejbanner.com. Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, just I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say. Definitely not a lot of. I don't know if there's any positives to take from it. Just one of those nights that nothing seemed to be going right. Starting with matching.
Game even started. I didn't quite get that. I mean, those guys, and then it's up to the players, right? Coaches can only do so much. It's up to the players to come out and be ready to play. They weren't ready to play. And I think Matt kind of got out coached here a little bit tonight, too. He kind of had a nice plan when it was Fremantle and Nunji out there. And now that it was Nunji, he kind of went away from that. And he had Art on Nunji quite a bit. He had Baylor on Nunji for a little bit, maybe because Baylor couldn't guard anybody else. But I don't know if that was typically the plan, but that's not what beat us. I mean, we just got it taken to the hole on us time and time again. And just little things like Art going under a screen. I mean, that how many times is he going to do that before he's get sit on the bench? I mean, that's just ridiculous. We had no effort on rebounding. I mean, zero. Even Kalk wasn't giving the effort. Kalk was really the only guy that showed up, really, if you want to say it.
I'll give Reef credit for at least busting his tail when he did get
He
some
got
minutes.
4 minutes. I mean, he came in, stole the ball right. I mean, played a good defensive set, and they got yanked out of the game. I mean, Nembhard was doing nothing. I mean, I wish Mac would have a little more faith in some of these guys. Like when Nembhard's struggling, put Reef in there. I mean, he can handle the ball. He can play point. I mean, this. I hate to overact, but God, does anybody think this team's going to go anywhere? I mean, we could be one and done easy, even as a 7 seed, 6 seed doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I got the same feeling after tonight. Well, the feeling I got was, well, even if they win the first game and this is how they're going to come out for the second game, then what's the point?
Yeah, I don't. There's something. Yeah, that was strange effort tonight. A really strange effort. I don't know. Maybe the worst thing that happened, we got up 5-0. They thought, it's gonna be a breeze. I don't know. Maybe we missed so many bunnies tonight. Oh my God,
a bunch.
Oh, but I mean, again, it wasn't just one thing. It was about 5 things. God, we had no awareness on help defense. Just got torched. I mean, it was embarrassing. My goodness. That was an embarrassing performance. It really was. I mean, you could just tell, like, Jimmy Jackson and Gus were just like, geez, didn't expect this. I mean, it was pretty bad. Well, I hope we get some reports. Our friend Doug, President Equitable Bank, said he didn't like Mac. Here we go, Jeremy. People piling on Mac right away. Of course, like I did. But he goes, I didn't like Mac's strategy of putting Art on Baylor on him. And I go, you know. I mean, Nunji hurt us more on the boards, way more on the boards than he did offensively.
He didn't really score until late in the second half.
Am I right on that, or am I just thinking the
No,
game?
you're right.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
they did that too at Xavier. Now the game at Creighton, if you remember, Nunji was in foul trouble most of the game, so I didn't really notice it there. But they did put a smaller guy on Nunji at Xavier and had Kalk guard Fremantle. And I think the thinking was because they worry about Nunge's ability to pick and pop. And but when you have a smaller guy in Nunge, he's obviously
I
I can't
believe
remember.
the championship when Marcus Foster hit that jumper against Villanova was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Or
didn't we play
he hit it against Xavier, sorry.
Right,
And
hit
then they
against
played
Xavier.
Villanova
That was
in the
actually like
championship.
7-year anniversary just the other day or something. Yeah.
Yep.
6 year. Yeah, that one. And then I guess, you can say we laid an egg, but that game with Dougie with Providence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were favored in that one.
Yeah, heavily, kind of not heavily, but pretty favored, pretty good. Yeah,
Of course, the Jays beat Providence last year. The Jays beat Providence last year by 30. So, kind of going back to your question,
well,
it doesn't feel good, but in sports, you're only one game away from momentum, and that's all I'm looking forward to now is having the bracket revealed and trying.
I was watching Kansas game the other day, and or no, it wasn't. I don't know if it was a Kansas game, but it was Fran Fraschilla was on the call, and he said, somebody was getting beat. He goes, like Bill Self doesn't really mind losing, like not in the championship game, but in the semifinal of the Big 12, because he gets that extra day of rest.
Yep.
He feels like 2 games right back to back. That's enough.
Yep.
And so it's that part of it, because tomorrow night's going to be a war. I mean, the team that loses is going to be really, exhausted, and especially if they turn around and play Thursday again, then they have to leave Tuesday. So, it's pretty quick turnaround, really. You get home probably Sunday sometime, then you have a selection show, and then boom, one day of practice, next day you're gone. So,
absolutely.
That way is a little bit better,
That's why I posed the message, or we put up that poll on our message board, kind of asking fans, if you had to choose a Big East title or a decent run in the NCAA tournament, and overwhelmingly people were willing to give up doing well in the Big East tournament for a second weekend run. So I know I would have been concerned about that if they got to tomorrow and, win or lose. And like you said, turn around and play on a Thursday in a different time zone and things like that. I would have been concerned with that too.
I figured this would come up in discussion, so I took a little time before we started the show to look at it a little bit. Well, Kentucky's down 6 here to Vanderbilt. So that could be one way we would stay on the 6 line, maybe. But I mean, if you really look at the resumes, we don't deserve to be on the 6 line with those other teams, which would drop us to a 7. Now, a 7 would be a really much better chance to go to Des Moines. Or let's see, who else would be at 2? Des Moines or Denver. Yeah, Denver wouldn't be bad. Columbus is easy to fly into. It's a pretty big airport, but I just have this feeling the committee is weighing Creighton way better than they are. I don't know. Just little things I'm hearing here and there. I sent in something to somebody at NCA the other day, and he gave an example of, well, if UConn is a 5 and then this go. Now, if Creighton was a 4, it kind of came off the top of his head real quick, and I was like, wow. It wasn't like he didn't say Team X, and I thought, interesting. I don't know, maybe reading too much into it, but so I think we're closer to the 5 than people think. I don't know.
And that'd be based off. It's probably heavily weighted on their predictives. metrics, right? I mean,
Well,
you're still going to
that would
find
be the only thing, the
yeah,
only possible thing you could look at and say, because there's not very many other teams in that 5 slot with a 21-12 record. Well, Iowa State would be one, but Iowa State has a bomb resume,
They have
right?
a lot of good quality wins. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of quality wins. We're lacking a lot of quality wins. So I'm gonna hedge here. I'm gonna leave us at a 6, I think, just in case they do something crazy and put us at a 5. I'm gonna leave us at a 6. Because you don't want to ever be 2 away. You always want to be 1 away. You get more points. So I think that's probably where we'll fall. But the other thing in this Kentucky game is, well, then what the hell are you going to do with Vanderbilt? Because all of a sudden, they're coming out of nowhere and are challenging for a spot. Again, you can say, well, the committee doesn't watch tournaments, so it doesn't really matter. But it seems like this year they're making a real effort. Dave Warlock in the NCAA tweeted out, hey, just to let everybody know, there's been a report. This is not true. We have not seeded the whole bracket. We've not even put all the teams in the bracket. We're watching every single game and counting every game. And so I think they took a lot of heat over last year, leaving Texas A&M out. So I think they're doing extra diligence to make sure they look at every single team and look at it real carefully. If that's the case, going to bode well for Vanderbilt, right? I mean,
that was the comparison. That was the comparison I saw was Texas A&M last year.
Yeah,
I mean, same conference, made a run to the SEC title game, and now Stackhouse might need to borrow Buzz Williams' report on how to get into the NCAA tournament.
Well, one thing you don't want to do is go on a rant like Buzz did, so that doesn't ever help. Yeah, A&M is actually the one team I'm looking at that I had Creighton right next to in the seed line, and they won again today, and I'm like, God, that resume, I don't see how in the world anybody. They had 2 really bad losses. That hurts them, but their record's way better than Creighton's. They have a lot better wins. I mean, I just don't see how you would keep them below Creighton. I just can't. Bad non-conference strength of schedule, and their predictors are not all that much worse than Creighton's, really. The thing about Creighton, you can talk about the predictors all you want. Their result base are horrible. Their result base show them to be like a 10 seed. So they have like the widest gap of most teams that I look at, which is really strange. So we're somewhere in the middle. So that's probably where they'll land. That's my best guess, 6. I wouldn't be shocked to see them at a 7. I don't think they'd fall to 8 because that gets into the muck of those Big Ten teams that are all lumped together, and they're all at like 19-11 and 19-12 and 20-13, and they're all in that group. So I don't see them falling further than that. Let's see. I was kind of surprised Xavier. Of course, Xavier doesn't have much bench. I get that, but still, they have a few guys they could roll out there. I was surprised when it was 20 points. With a game tomorrow night, he left those guys out there. I mean, what if somebody steps on an ankle or something, you know?
Yeah, I thought that was strange as well. He did finally call the timeout, but it seemed like it was a couple minutes late.
Put one guy.
Just keep pressing. Just keep pressing with a minute and a half left.
You know, you wonder if it's part of like the way the dead is too. Maybe Miller he's figured something out there, and he's like, if I beat him by 22, it looks better than 15. Yeah. There might be some metric in there that's skewed or something. I don't know. But boy, great first game, huh?
Yeah. If we want to stick to that, the complete inverse of tonight.
Man, Marquette's good. Good.
Tyler Kolek is good.
I mean, they took UConn's. Well, UConn didn't play as well, obviously, tonight as they did last night.
Yeah.
But still, they took UConn's best shot. It was like a road game for them. They still just got it done.
That game was funny. I fell asleep in the middle of it and then woke up with 1 minute left. So I saw the good parts at the very end.
Oddly enough, I was almost falling asleep too. I was really tired for some reason, but
A late night last night.
yeah, but I mean, I was off today, so I slept in. And it's not like,
Yeah.
yeah, Indiana did win 70-60 over Maryland. So there's another team that doesn't have to move up. Virginia beat Clemson by 20. I don't know. That might have sealed Clemson's deal. Their resume improved so much last night with that win over North Carolina State because they beat them 3 times. So how can logically you're thinking resume wise they're really close, and Clemson's had tons of bad losses, but then you're looking at like they beat this team 3 times. How and none of the games are close. So how can you possibly say, no matter what the damn resumes say, that that team is better than this team? Clemson has to be ranked above North Carolina State. Yeah. And then Pittsburgh looks iffier than both of those two, really. Might be a little close, but I can't see them leaving those 3 ACC teams out. I think somebody's going to get in. So I don't. You do have a bid stealer in. I didn't see. How did Memphis? Did Memphis end up winning? Let's see. Memphis.
They were up the whole game.
Yeah, they did win. So they're still alive. I mean, the perfect, for those bubble teams, they want Memphis and Houston to be in the final. They see. They're going to cheer like hell for FAU tomorrow.
Yep. That's a close one today.
Doesn't look like there'll be any bid stealers in the Pac-12. There won't be any in the Big 12. Still a couple alive in the SEC. Well, one, Vanderbilt. Big 10, Ohio State.
Yeah.
God, this will be game 4 in 4 days against Purdue. I can't. I thought they were going to run out of gas today, and they didn't. I mean, I
was
can't
sensible
believe.
too. They're a little shorter too.
Yeah, I know they're missing their best player. What they say he might play tomorrow. I don't know. So I just can't believe they're going to be Purdue that shorthanded. Although it's not like Purdue pushes the pace.
Purdue's still allergic to press.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Those freshman guards are.
I don't know how Painter wasn't losing his mind. I mean, I've seen that a few times this year. I would did it to him, and man, coaches aren't. I don't think coaches are bold enough to just come out and press though that don't naturally do it. Like
they've really struggled, and their guards have struggled hitting shots too, because now they're everybody's just doubling hard on Edey. They don't care. Yeah. Jeez. Crazy. This year's been crazy. Like somebody said today, I was on 1620 today, and they said, is this crazy as that rolled in bracket policy? I go, it actually hadn't. I thought things were going pretty smoothly until last night. Today you look at these resumes, they're just totally flip-flopped from what they were just a couple days ago. And now you got Utah State in the mix, and they're not tipping for another 15 minutes. Huge game against Boise State. If they win, that pretty much seals the deal for them. So yeah, it's wow. We could have a lot of surprises on the bracket show on Sunday. Just letting you know. But yeah, if Creighton's a 6 seed, I would say Greensboro, Columbus/Albany. Who else we got in there? Tennessee, that'd be Greensboro. So it'd be 2 shots at Greensboro. There you have it. I got a couple of the traditional Farabella tweets tonight.
Did you?
Yeah.
Even though he played.
Why is 5 even in the game? And I was gonna say, you mean 55? Because he's the one that's getting blown by on defense. He didn't shoot the ball tonight, though. Did he? Oh, he made that one layup. He can't make layups either. It's just frustrating. because I know he's a better player than he's showing. I know he is, and Mac knows he is. But I would think I don't understand why Mason doesn't play more, frankly.
Yeah, neither do I. He's a really good energy guy, and he can hit threes.
And he has some deficiencies on defense, but I don't think those deficiencies would be any worse if he was playing the 3 versus the 4. So I would bring him in. I don't mind the small lineup when Reef comes in either, like because Reef's such a good defender. Problem is then you put Nemhart on an island out there. The other thing too, Trey's defense tonight was terrible. He's usually a really good defender, and man, he couldn't buy a shot. God, it was frustrating. Vanderbilt did it. They defeated Kentucky. There you go.
I do want to give a shout out to Marquette as well for for beating UConn. It is kind of selfishly nice to see that UConn won't win the Big East tournament.
Hey Zach, can you shoot? Wait, here I got it right here. Can you shoot Jerry Lampy an email?
Yep, I just got his email.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd like to get his perspective being at the Garden, what it was like. I guess there were some people asking why I wasn't there. I don't know who it was. Maybe Fantab asked John about it. I don't know. I can't imagine I'm that popular. It's just like it's so hard with the bracketology thing for me to go to New York. I mean, I would have to stay in New York another day. I'd have to fly home Monday, and that's too long to be there. I tried it that one year. I thought, we'll give it a shot because I think we're leaving super early, like Sunday morning. So I think we're getting back to Omaha like 10, 11 o'clock. I thought, that's fine. That'll work. But I mean, even that was pushing it. So I don't know. I'd love to go. I probably will go here in the next year or two. Maybe when I give up bracketology or something. I don't know.
You're gonna give up bracketology?
Yeah, I know. It keeps me busy. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, how's it going, Tim?
It
was ugly, man. It was ugly.
I've actually been fairly calm and didn't go off on me. Even though Baylor Schreierman, it should have been said maybe a long time ago. There's a lot of times, man, he's a liability on defense.
Yeah,
he gets blown by.
Right. Yeah.
And I understand, because Jeremy's going to say this, I understand Jones is a good player. But he's not. Of the guys we play against, he's not the quickest. That's for sure.
Strong upper focused. And, just like they weren't focused, turning the ball over, they just weren't. They'd come out ready to play. And being in the gym, obviously the UConn Marquette game was exciting, a lot of energy, a great game. And then the Creighton game was just like the energy just got sucked out of the building. And,
really did? I was going to ask you that.
Oh, it was electric. I mean, that's what you hear about Madisonburg Garden, UConn Marquette, just a great game down the wire. A lot of UConn fans, there. And then when that game was over, it just like was a big letdown. Of course, the crowd wasn't near as big for the Creighton Xavier game. And like the energy was just sucked out of the building. And Creighton, you got to bring your own energy. Kind of like when you go play at DePaul, you got to bring your own energy. And there was just seemed like no energy in the building. And and when you get out rebounded by Xavier, the turnovers were bad, but just to get beat on the boards. And I didn't think Xavier played especially great tonight. I mean, at one time they were shooting like 27% from the 3 and 40% from the field. And they were, if you give me those numbers in this early in the second half, I think, well, Creighton's winning. We were down 15 points. It wasn't like Xavier, you're worried about them coming out and, lighting it up offensively. I didn't think Xavier played great. I just thought
I thought they shot the ball really well, especially in the second half.
Well, the second half was a little bit better, but the first half, I mean, I didn't, they scored. They really beat us up in the paint. I didn't see that coming. We gave up a lot of easy layups in the first half. We just threw it in the middle and just laid it off the glass. That was disappointing. I mean, you think if Xavier's going to beat us, Bomb's going to get hot from three, Kunkel's going to get hot from three, they're going to make some shots, and it was just,
They didn't even shoot that many threes, but they were 33 of 70. That's almost 50%.
Yeah, they shot better in the second half. You look at the stats, and at one time they were shooting under 40% from the field.
And they were 7 of 17 from three. But, I mean, they just made a lot of, like that one Nunji threw in.
Threw in. I just laughed. I'm like, well, that's the way the night's going.
Yeah,
but it
exactly.
just never felt, Tim, like we never got a run going. It never felt like, oh, yeah, here we're going to at least make a run and get it close. It just never felt that
I thought we came out in the second half with a little bit of energy, and we kind of held ground there, but we didn't make up any ground. That was we shot 21 of 56. So about 35% maybe.
I know, Nembhard, Ryan Nembhard had a, rough game, especially, kind of scoring. Trey had a rough game, not only shooting the ball, the turn, he's been solid, but, he had dribbled, he had some turnovers in the first half, 3 in a row there almost. He just kind of dribbled the ball and lost it. So
Trey and Nembhard were 6 of 23 tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to win any games when they go 6 of 23.
No. Mm-hmm.
3-point, we were 7 of 23, which isn't great, but it's not the worst we've ever shot, but it's below 20. It's below 30%. Yeah.
Ryan had some shots inside. He wasn't able to finish. Trey had some shots. It was just, not good. Not the way you want to go out.
I mean, and just like you mentioned, the rebounding is just, Well, here's the stats. Yeah. We shot 37%. They shot 47%.
Mm-hmm.
3-pointers were at 30. They were at 41. Again, had a great rate. 45 to 28 on the boards.
Yeah, that's I mean, one time I think we were 17, or they had out rebounded us by 15 or 17, and it was like early in the second half, late in the first. It was just bad. And Xavier's it's not like UConn's out rebounding. I mean, Xavier, I don't look at them and say, oh God, that's a great rebounding team. It's just, it was the hustle. They wanted it more tonight, I guess. I don't know. So
I thought when every loose ball goes against you, that's just hustle and effort.
It is.
That's all that is.
And I don't want to say the guys weren't trying. I mean, it just like lack of. You come out flat sometimes, like you're not ready to play. I can't explain it. I wasn't in the locker room. I wasn't in the pregame. I just don't know, but it just came out flat.
Yeah,
I think that's the disappointing part. If you get beat, you get beat. Team play, but just to come out flat, never be part of it. Not good. But it was just different. I mean, being there. I mean, UConn Marquette. I thought that game was well played. I thought it. The first half was like, wow, that was a well played game, a well played first half, and then. I thought UConn made a mistake in the toward the end, not getting to Sanogo. They had Marquette in foul trouble.
Yeah,
everybody tried to shoot a three to put them ahead. I mean, if they would have kept, if I'm UConn, I just try to get that game to overtime. And Marquette's in all kinds of foul trouble. I mean, Tyler, he had
Kolek had 4.
He had 4. The big guy had 4. I mean, they were scrambling. But I think Marquette hit their last points with Prosper hit it a 3-pointer with 3:41, and that made it. I think that made it 70 to 66.
I think they might have hit a couple. I think they might have hit a free throw or something in there. Maybe not. But,
Prosper had the last 3-point bucket at 3:41.
Yeah,
that didn't score for the last 3 minutes and 41 seconds with a 4-point lead. Still won that game. So
and the other thing too was There's really only one guy that should be taking threes on that team. That's Hawkins. Although the off guard, he shoots it pretty well too.
Well,
but the last 2 games, and I've seen this all season, has Caravan ever missed a shot? Seriously?
Yeah.
That dude hits big shots game after game after game, and he's a freshman.
Yeah. I thought the key to game 2 was Prosper from Marquette did a great job on Hawkins. Hawkins had 5 points, and one of them was a 3 that he slopped off the backboard early in the first half. I mean, Hawkins never.
No, they did great. Jerry, you're absolutely right. They did an awesome job on Hawkins. Yeah, that's the kind of job we need to do on Boom tonight.
Yep. I mean, you could just tell he's frustrated, and they did a great job on him. Now, Sanogo, those guys, I mean, they hurt him down low, especially when their big guy, 13, got in foul trouble. And I thought they made a mistake, but I keep pounding it down to Sanogo. everybody though wanted to hit that three to get the lead. I mean, you could tell it was. I think UConn might have missed the last 5 shots for 3-pointers they missed, and why they didn't try to get a Sonogo and tie the game up and get the game in overtime, where I think they had an advantage. But
Gus and Jimmy said that too. They said, "Man, Sonogo didn't get a touch on the last
not a
possession."
touch, and he was killing them. He was eating them up the whole game. And then, I mean, 13. I mean, he had 4 fouls. You know, you pointed down Sonogo. He tries to challenge. He picks up the 5th foul. I mean, one thing I thought too, UConn went to the zone, and Marquette struggled with that zone. They struggled with it.
Yeah, I saw that too. I thought, oh, that's something you got to put in your back pocket. They didn't play well against it. But.
No, they had some looks, but they couldn't make them.
We had one comment earlier, Jerry. I just want to hear your thoughts. We just said, like, God, this team doesn't really appear that they're going to be going anywhere.
No. Of course, you know, they're going to say it's a new season. You know, they're probably going to be, what, a 6-7 seed. I could see them winning one game, but I don't see them making a deep run in the tournament. I mean, they might get lucky. I mean, it depends on matchups, but, you know, I would say the ceiling right now, if I'm going to be honest, Creighton would be the Sweet 16. If they get to the Sweet 16, you know, I think happy. But, boy, you leave in that gym tonight, it was like, wow, this is, yeah.
Yeah, you know what's amazing, you know, it's too early to do a postmortem here, but this team, you know, we came in thinking we had the greatest bench of all time, and the bench let us down all year.
Big time.
You know, Fred King was probably the only guy we really counted on off the bench that played consistently.
You know, that showed last night. Maybe if you trust your bench more, you play him a little bit more in the second half when you got a 16, 18-point lead. But you could tell Mac, you know, when Nova cut it to 9 there, man, he had to put the starters back.
Yeah, but we didn't. I mean, like I said, it was the least stressful game of the 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't expend that much energy in that game. I mean, you know, not any more than any other game.
But no, the bench does not. I mean, you know, does not. You know, King does okay. He's still.
I'd like to see more Mason Miller.
Yeah.
We've got to like go out and get some guys, some transfers to fill the bench because the freshmen aren't getting run. So even if everybody comes back, we still got to find some slots in that 3 slot to fill in.
You see a big drop off when Creighton goes to bench versus if you watch Marquette when they go to bench, you watch UConn when they go to bench.
The 6th man of the year. That's why.
Yeah. So
Xavier doesn't have a bench though.
Yeah, that's true. They're the one dude. Other than that, they don't have anybody.
I mean,
So Boom
now that Freemantl's out,
Boom's still bringing the ball up with a minute and a half left.
I think Boom could play 120 minutes a day.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude never looks tired. He looks like he's one of those guys who just go all day long. You know.
Well, Xavier, I was looking at these rosters. Xavier's really got a lot of seniors. He's got to bring some dudes in. But Marquette, everybody's back with them.
Oh, I know, man. That's what we were saying. And it's not like anybody on Marquette's going to go to the NBA.
Or you know, well, I think Prosper's really good.
Yeah,
I don't get Kaluma's run. Like my wife tonight, she goes, who is that? I go, that's a guy who's like Arthur Kaluma, only way, way better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's got the same body type, and he's good.
Oh yeah, I mean, he gets in. He's offensive rebound. He tips. I mean, he's a great defender. Obviously, he shut Hawkins down today. He can hit a 3, but the way he goes to the offensive boards to me he gets a lot of tip in. Well, you know, when we played Creighton there, he was the one that they called that foul on just because he was hustling his butt off and attacked the board and bumped Kalkbrenner and got the foul call. If you don't attack the board, you don't get that call, but give him credit for at least attacking the board from the wing, you know, not assuming the shot's going to go in, you know. But no, Marquette's got everybody back. I mean, but obviously with the transfer, I don't see any of those guys leaving Marquette, that are playing a lot. I mean, unless somebody's going to throw a ton in.
No, but as we found out this year, it's different when you got the target on your back.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. So, all right, Jerry.
All right, but yeah.
Well, have a good stay in New York. We'll see you when you get back.
All right, thanks, Jim.
All right. We have no unsung hero tonight, do we?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay. Worst call of the night.
I already know.
Hook and hold.
Yep. That was bad. That was really bad.
How was that on Mason?
I have no clue how that was a double foul.
The only
That
thing
was
I can think of is
ridiculous.
they thought he was the one who initiated the arm lock, but he's not the one who got tossed.
No.
I've got an
I
unsung hero.
that
Xavier's medical staff for getting Nungy's lip fixed.
Jesus God, yeah, he's bleeding
Yeah,
all
that
over.
He
I
was.
didn't think.
was ugly.
Yeah, good for Trey. At least he got a good elbow in there. Yeah, I didn't get that call at all. And again tonight, a couple times, guys fell down. They called a foul. Just I don't get it.
Yeah,
And
you heard Max straight up tell the guys, hey, if you get hit on one of those screens, just fall down.
well, and then Jeremy, you were saying Mac was upset about the screening.
Yeah, I think he was, and it was that was based off of that that in the huddle clip that they gave where I think Mac was thinking they were getting a little too wide or a little extra hip check. Nemhard was having a lot of trouble getting through screens, staying attached to Boom. So,
and then the one call tonight in both games they called was horrible. That went against UConn. Oh, that was a terrible call on the screen. The guy stood there; he never moved. Hurley went nuts. Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap it up, boys. Thanks, Jeremy, for filling in.
thanks for having me.
We will have a Blue Jay Banner segment. I don't know. I have no idea. If people are asking where's Ross, I have no idea where Ross is. Okay, he's you may see his picture on a milk carton. Okay,
International man of mystery, Ross.
But I think he'll be back Monday. We'll dig into who we're playing, our bracket, our side of the draw, as they say. If we have any possible chance of moving forward. I doubt it, but we'll go from there.